Value 1. Introduction. Biodiversity consists of a variety of living organisms which lived in a particular region that determines the range of variation and species richness among itself. It is important because it provides us with biological resources. 3 levels of biodiversity: species, genetic, and ecosystem diversity. As time passes, the loss of biodiversity has caused our natural resources to decrease. The factors are: 1. Habitat loss and fragmentation. 2. Introduced species. 3. Overexploitation. 4. Pollution. 5. Global climate change. 6. Industrial activities. Value 2. The complexity of life. Origin of life. Central dogma of biology, which state DNA makes RNA, then RNA makes protein, that are the common biological sources of enzymatic catalysis. Life is characterized by cells, common metabolic pathways, common genetic code. Trophic relationships are from sun to producers to consumers, and lastly to space. Value 3. Species diversity. Species is a group of interbreeding organisms that can't ordinarily breed with members of other group. The 3 species concepts: morphological, biological, and phylogenetic species. Species diversity is the number of different species in a particular area weighed by some measure of abundance, such as number of individuals or biomass. 3 basic kinds of richness indices are alpha, beta, and gamma diversity. Value 4. Genetic diversity. The population is a localized group of individuals of same species. Assumption of HW theorems includes large population, no migration, no net mutation, random mating, no natural selection. Microevolution refers to changes in allele frequencies in gene pool from generation to generation. Causes of microevolution: genetic drift, founder effect, gene flow, mutation, and natural selection. Gene is a basic hereditary unit consisting of a specific nucleotide in DNA or RNA in some virus that codes for protein synthesis. Alleles are alternative forms of the same gene and occupy the same locus of a pair of homologous chromosomes. Chromosomes are organized structures of DNA and proteins found in cells. Mendel's first law of segregation states that each hereditary characteristic of an organism is determined by a pair of alleles which segregate during gametogenesis, and only one of each pair of alleles can be present in a single gamete. Mendel's second law of independent assortment state that each member of a pair of alleles may combine randomly with either member of another pair of alleles during gametogenesis. There are many factors make genetics not as straightforward, which are incomplete dominance, dominance versus codominance, multiple allele, pleiotropy, epistasis, and polygenic inheritance. Value 5. Ecological diversity. Biome is a large area of similar flora and fauna that adapted to the specific climate. Ecosystem is interaction between biotic and abiotic component in a particular area. Community, plants and animals that interacts with each other. Habitat, a place where a community of plants and animals live, supplies survival needs. Niche, role of organisms in the habitat. Ecosystem management, preserve, conserve, restore, defined as skillful use of ecological knowledge to produce desired products while still sustaining the diversity and productivity of ecosystems. Value 6. Value of biodiversity in Malaysia. The particular significance are economic benefit, food security, environmental stability, national biological heritage, scientific, educational and recreational values, biosafety. Value 7. Threats to biodiversity are introduced species, direct exploitation, Habitat loss, fragments and degradation and extinction. Introduced or invasive species is a non-domestic species that not occur naturally to an area. Direct exploitation occurs due to human activities. Habitat loss happens because of humans' overexploitation of natural habitats. Extinctions happen due to competition and natural disasters compared to human activity. LU8. How biodiversity can be sustained. By Convention of Biological Diversity, in situ conservation established a system in protected areas. Ex situ conservation established and maintained facilities. Sustainable uses of biological resource. Incentive measures. 3-level conservation of biodiversity. Genes, species, ecosystem. LU9. The Malaysian Policy on Biodiversity. Malaysia's national policy statement are to conserve Malaysia's biological diversity and to ensure that its components are utilized in a sustainable manner. Public awareness and education are important for the conservation of biological diversity. The rationale for the policy includes economic benefits, food security, environmental stability, scientific, educational and recreational values and biosafety.
Okay, kita kena mengamalkan amalan kita semula. So setiap masyarakat ni perlu ada amalan kita semula. Okay, contohnya macam kertas, botol tin tu kita kumpul, sediakan tong sampah yang memang dah kerajaan kita dah buat pada masa sekarang ni. Lepas tu kan kita kena hadkan pembalakan. So, sekarang kan banyak berlaku hakisan tanah, tanah runtuh ni sebab pembalakan yang tidak terancang. Okay, lepas tu kita kena khususkan tempat pembuangan bahan toksik tau. Dan khususkan tempat pembuangan sampah supaya air tu tak mengalir ke dalam longkang dan terus pergi ke sungai ataupun laut. So bila pergi akan berlaku pencemaran. Bila berlaku pencemaran, dia akan menyebabkan habitat mati. Contohnya hidupan ni lah, hidupan laut, sungai.
Okay, in my opinion, kalau kita tak menjaga, protect our environment, future dia akan menyebabkan kepupusan flora dan fauna. One of the most important things is kepupusan flora dan fauna. And then the next one ialah kita akan kehilangan satu khazanah negara lah. Kalau bagi Sarawak sendiri sebagai salah satu negara negeri ataupun tempat di dunia yang mempunyai khazanah alam yang sangat masyhur, kalau kita tidak jaga, dia akan menyebabkan satu kerugian kepada negara. It's not financial lah, dia punya financial punya kerugian, tapi dia akan menyebabkan satu kehilangan kepada negara.
So, saya rasa environment pertama sekali this is where you live, you know. So it serves a place where you live, where you do your daily things. And next thing that is the most important thing, they provide you the food, the resources for your daily routine, you know. So it includes food resources, includes elements that you need to live, for example oxygen, water, all kind of resources. If this, we are talking about human itself, but then if we are talking about plant, then you know the same thing. Whatever that a plant require, all different type of resources that plant require, the same thing goes to every other organism. And what else we can talk about environment, why they are important? Mainly resource, mainly place to live. That's the main key areas lah bagi pandangan saya. And you ada banyak sub dalam, when we talk about resources, there are plenty of resources lah. I mean we talk only about a one for us to live, but also it includes for economic purpose too. You know, the environment provide you with a place for you to do all your, you know, buying, selling, all kind of things. So mainly itu je lah pandangan saya.